Yo, what is up everybody, it's Jay the Great here and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today, as you can tell the title, we have Naruto and Sasuke were humiliated, how strong is Jigen and Isshiki Otsutsuki by Anime Balls Deep. So folks, I have seen throughout the comment sections of several videos, you guys want me to check out more content from other creators, other Naruto creators, other anime creators, and when you guys ask, I shall deliver. So here we are today with this one, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed discussing and listening to just how powerful and dominant Jigen and Isshiki Otsutsuki was last week. So this video will serve as sort of a continuation of the explanation and substantiation as to why Jigen slash Isshiki Otsutsuki is so dominant and so powerful, right? In this video, I'm assuming there's a more thorough qualitative analysis as far as power scaling is concerned on just how powerful this individual truly is, right? So I'm sure we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it as opposed to a narrative analysis last week, which is what we did last week with Naruto Explains video. So I'm very intrigued for this one. Like I said last week, Isshiki Otsutsuki currently, even up until the current Boruto narrative, is arguably the most powerful antagonist that has ever roamed the Naruto verse, excluding a theoretical Shiba Otsutsuki who's already been stated to be 4D, right? That individual is on a whole different playing field. But besides him, there's a very good argument that Isshiki still is the most powerful antagonist. There's arguments for other individuals as well, of course, like Damon, Ida, current Kawaki, etc. Right? Those are still more ambiguous because there's not much canonical literature written on them yet, as they have barely been introduced into the narrative. But again, I'm very intrigued for this one, and let's see what they have to say. But before we begin, and let's really appreciate it, hit that like button, turn on bell notification to stay updated with yours truly. And if you enjoy, man, you mess with the kid, make sure to hit that sub button, because once you do, you become part of the family forever. But let's not waste any more time, screen. Let's see what Anime Balls Deep has to say today.
Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep! Today we are covering one of the strongest characters ever introduced in the Naruto franchise. His name is Isshiki Otsutsuki. Who? I know. Claiming that it's not Naruto and Sasuke is absolutely blasphemy.
Unacceptable.
But things truly have changed in Boruto, where our boys can be bodied within a couple of punches.
This is number
Correct.
one bullshit.
We all shared the grief of witnessing Naruto and Sasuke lose in such a
absolutely.
one-sided manner recently
It was
in
rough to
Boruto
watch.
episode 204. I'm sorry, but let me just do a quick reminder.
Yeah, that's how we all felt, man. Absolutely.
So we felt like it was a good time to finally explain just how strong Isshiki is, proving the fact that his achievements were beyond any other character. This is a collaboration with Naruto Explained. Ian
Hey,
will be explaining
yeah,
parts of
Naruto
the
Explained,
video
shout out to him as well.
and you guys know what it's like whenever we both collab.
You son of a bitch.
If we're going to understand Isshiki's true power, we have to first look at all the other Otsutsuki and establish Isshiki's clear superiority over them, which will ultimately explain why Isshiki wishes to become a god and the strongest Otsutsuki to ever exist. The Otsutsuki clan are a race of parasitic aliens who travel in pairs. Now, from galaxy to galaxy, they harvest each planet's power for themselves in order to further their species' evolution, as revealed by Amado in chapter 45
Correct.
of the Boruto manga. We know from Isshiki's dimension, where he keeps his pet 10 tails, that the monument in the background seemingly displays the highest ranking Otsutsuki the clan has to offer, other than the rank of god. Momoshiki and Kinshiki being one pair, another unidentifiable pair, and lastly Kaguya and her partner Isshiki. Amado explained to us that Isshiki was the highest ranked Otsutsuki that visited Earth, and he's also from the main branch. Isshiki is the boss of arguably the strongest foe Naruto and Sasuke have ever fought, which instantly puts it into perspective the sheer authority and power this guy possesses. Kaguya Otsutsuki was someone that wasn't even—
So that illustration that was just shown a couple seconds ago is the stone tablet I was discussing last week, right? It has like the illustration of the power hierarchy and the societal hierarchy of the Otsutsuki clan, right? It showed Isshiki at the top, showed Kaguya below him. Parallel to her, it showed Momoshiki Otsutsuki, and obviously Kinshiki at the bottom, right? It represents the societal and also power hierarchy of the Otsutsuki clan. But just wanted to point that out. Let's continue.
Killed, but rather sealed away with the help of Hagaromo's power boost to Naruto and Sasuke. It was more like a 4-on-1 battle since Kakashi, Obito, and Sakura were there too. Isshiki arrived on Earth to harvest the planet of its life force by planting a divine tree to suck the chakra from all living things to then produce a chakra fruit. However, as we know, Kaguya Otsutsuki betrayed the clan and backstabbed Isshiki to leave him to die alone. Knowing how strong Kaguya is, she didn't actually defeat him one-on-one, because that would be impossible even for her. In fact, Amado states that she backstabbed him whilst his guard was down.
Correct.
Isshiki did not expect any malice intent from his partner, and therefore only proves once again that even Kaguya feared him, as she knew she would lose one-on-one if Ishiki's guard wasn't down. We all can agree that Kaguya was pretty damn strong, but she actually became even more OP after taking the chakra fruit of Earth after betraying Isshiki Otsutsuki. On the other hand, Isshiki doesn't need to do that. Isshiki is already OP without even eating Earth's chakra fruit yet. The reason he is so adamant in making another fruit on Earth is because of the rich chakra and life force this planet possesses, where it would have increased his power even further to the point of reaching the pinnacle of God that he proclaimed. This puts everything into perfect perspective on how much power Isshiki possesses just based on who he is whilst arriving on Earth in the first place.
Correct.
As Momoshiki also ate Kinshiki to combine their powers, but still couldn't match his strength. I mean, it's actually ridiculous because we clearly saw Momoshiki eat multiple chakra fruits from other planets before even coming to Earth, which again lets us know why Earth's chakra fruit is so important, as it clearly gave Kaguya a even more significant boost than any other fruit we have seen. But Ishiki's dominance in the clan is way too high, so it doesn't even matter. Now, since we are talking about Naruto, I need to mention Fanhome. Fanhome is a new brand dedicated to
skip
developing
this, folks.
unique collections and building up Naruto. These are TV Tokyo official. Each figure comes with a fully illustrated
Give me a
magazine,
second.
but to top it all off, discount and early bird plus
think this is where it
promotion,
ends.
which is actually not available for the general public. It's only for you guys. With this promotion, you guys will
Alright,
get
never mind, it's not over
exclusive
yet.
gifts, a Naruto t-shirt from 3 to 4 figures or assembly stages with their corresponding partly stages. With their corresponding,
folks.
Kaguya was going to use a truth-seeking. If we take a look at chapter, some pictures
think
of
this
the
is where it
figures
ends,
we got, and they were retweeted.
Back to regularly
If we
scheduled
take a look
programming.
at chapter 689, Kaguya was going to use a truth-seeking orb to blow up an entire dimension, which requires a crazy amount of power. She also has enough power to create multiple interconnected dimensions, each with their own respective solar systems, as shown in the opening
At least,
credits
right?
of the day
Yeah.
Naruto became the Hokage when Sasuke is traveling. However, Kaguya, despite having instant killing jutsu like the Bone Ash Jutsu, she still needed to catch Isshiki off guard and still ends up failing at her task since Ishiki's durability is insane. He survived! As seen in Boruto manga chapter 46, Isshiki survived Kaguya's betrayal and instead lived for thousands of years by shrinking himself with his Sukuna Hikuna Dojutsu ability. He infests a nearby monk known as...
So, to further substantiate ABD's premise here, put this into perspective. Kaguya, right, during the war arc, in her altercation with Naruto and Sasuke, received an exponential increase in power, right? She had a dimension with several celestial bodies, indicating a solar system at bare minimum as far as the size of this dimension in question, right? Like Anime Ball's Deep said. She had an ability to destroy that dimension from the inside out, right? With her expansive truth-seeking orb, right? The ability to indefinitely expand to the point of dimensional destruction, right? As according to the canonical literature. So Kaguya, at bare minimum, is a solar system buster. The statistical probability of that classification of power is very high, right? Because again, we see a dimension with celestial bodies in it, indicating most likely at least a solar system sized dimension, right? That's just the most rational conclusion to come to. Hence, like I said, Kaguya is at least a solar system buster. Now, despite that, she still feared Isshiki to such an extent that she had to attack him off guard. Right? She didn't deem herself as worthy enough or powerful enough to combat Isshiki one-on-one. that implies a substantial discrepancy in power, right? A substantial discrepancy. So Isshiki is substantially above solar system level. Substantially. If I had to put my finger on it, Isshiki Otsutsuki is quite possibly even galaxy level. That's how large the discrepancy is. The amount of energy, the amount of damage that he can output is probably within that range. He's certainly within the range of solar system and galaxy. He's within that large range of power. That's the caliber of individual he is. And like ABD said, Momoshiki ate several chakra fruits and still paled in comparison as far as his performance against Naruto and Sasuke. On top of that, when he faced Naruto and Sasuke, they were fatigued. Naruto had about 50% of his chakra extracted at that point, and Sasuke had to teleport a large amount of individuals to that dimension to fight Momoshiki and save Naruto. His performance still paled in comparison, even after eating Kinshiki's chakra fruit. Even after fusing with Kinshi Otsutsuki, he still paled in comparison to Isshiki Otsutsuki based off the qualitative analysis when analyzing his performance compared to Isshiki Otsutsuki's performance. So Isshiki Otsutsuki is substantially more powerful than all the other Otsutsuki we've observed in the narrative up until this point. He is absurdly powerful, which is why even Naruto and Sasuke were thoroughly handled by him. He's absurdly powerful. The most powerful antagonist we've possibly ever seen up until this point in the narrative. That's how powerful Isshiki is. So yeah, I just wanted to add on to that, but let's continue on.
As Jigen, using his brain as a source of nutrients to keep his Otsutsuki body alive, before being able to reincarnate inside a suitable host due to the sheer amount of chakra he possessed. To put it into perspective, Isshiki had so much power and chakra that it actually stopped him from using the karma he implanted in Jigen to its full potential, as the reincarnated Otsutsuki body of Jigen would have not been able to sustain itself, thus killing Isshiki over time. He was not 100% power within Jigen, and still was able to destroy Naruto and Sasuke with this weak vessel. Now this brings us to Kaguya and the other Otsutsuki. Even after eating the chakra fruit, Kaguya still felt the need to build an army to protect her from Kinshiki, Momoshiki, and the one that should not be named, Urashiki. After giving birth to her sons Hagaromo and Hamura, she's still worried that they would kill her. When Kaguya thinks of these other Otsutsuki invaders, she imagines them in their base form, which is a direct implication that even after gaining the enormous power that transformed her body, she still feared them. It could be because they were a collective team as opposed to each individual Otsutsuki, but that still says a lot that Kaguya was afraid since she was significantly stronger than each as an individual. For example, Isshiki Otsutsuki would not fear Momoshiki or Kinshiki's arrival on Earth, as he would know he has superiority over them and could kill them if he wanted 1v1 or even 2v1. So now I will pass the video on to Ian from Naruto Explain regarding the Otsutsuki clan. But also at this point of the video, I do want to mention too that we are doing more future collaborations, but we need your support. Make sure to smash the like button on this video.
Let me know if you want me to react to more of these
on the channel
as well.
So you are aware when we upload the next collab. We are going to talk about every sign why Sarada will be the next Hokage after Naruto. We also have merch for sale with 15% off Naruto Journey and Sasuke Journey merch. Even shout out to everyone on screen right now for helping us out as always. But yeah guys, please support us, and Ian, take it.
Alright, thanks a lot of deals. So getting straight with the get-go, Sasuke himself in Naruto spin-off manga written by Masashi Kishimoto, Naruto Gaiden, says that there's a threat beyond Kaguya, which we know to be Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Given Sasuke and Naruto have become stronger since Naruto Volume 72, this makes what Sasuke says hold a lot more weight because he's clearly worried at this point. Now, even if we say that Kaguya was stronger than these other Otsutsuki when comparing them base to base, there are arguments that can be had that Kaguya Kaguya and Fused Momoshiki are relative, even though Fused Momoshiki is referred to as being beyond Kaguya. This is because Kaguya post-Earth chakra fruit might have still surpassed this fusion of Momoshiki, as she didn't exhibit her full power in the fight, along with the fact that she was never truly killed. As we mentioned earlier, the massive boost in chakra that the Earth chakra fruit gives is beyond any comprehension. Even Momoshiki himself was surprised by the vast amounts of Nine-Tails chakra and that it was only part of the original chakra fruit's power. It took him half a day to extract half of the Nine-Tails chakra from Naruto, but either way, the narrative shows us that Fused Momoshiki was able to take on stronger versions of Naruto and Sasuke than the versions we saw in Naruto Volume 72. This fusion of Momoshiki was taking out the same 4 Kage who were holding their own against Kinshiki, but the fusion took them out in single blows. Now, depending on the continuity that you choose, Fused Momoshiki is either equal to Naruto and Sasuke or he's below their fatigued versions. In the Boruto movie novelization, Fused Momoshiki looks at the collective of fatigued Sasuke and chakra drained Naruto, both of them using the Rinnegan and the Biju cloak respectively, and he says that they are his equals, which absolutely infuriated Momoshiki since they were the prey that he hoped to destroy. Otsutsuki view human beings as nourishment to help their species grow and evolve. They don't view them as equals. Do you view a burger as your equal? Absolutely not. Making the statement of Naruto and Sasuke being his equals something very huge for him to acknowledge. If Fused Momoshiki is admitting that Naruto and Sasuke are combined as his equals, do you see the difference in the attitude that Isshiki has when he faces them? He literally tells them that they are wasting chakra instead due to how futile it is for them to even try to win. Isshiki is truly the most frightening being that we've ever seen so far. When we see him in an imperfect vessel in Jigen, he's already way stronger than Naruto and Sasuke at their full power. In Jigen's base form, Isshiki was able to blitz Naruto before Naruto could even react despite having the chakra mode. When Jigen faced Naruto and Sasuke, they felt confident that if they used their full power, they'd be able to win. However, the fact that Naruto and Sasuke couldn't immediately crush Jigen, despite saying they were fighting at full power, is your sign Jigen is not your average foe. When Jigen transforms into his Otsutsuki mode, we see Naruto and Sasuke get threatened enough that they're using their full Kurama avatar in Perfect Susanoo. In the face of all of this, Jigen punches Naruto at the avatar in one instant. He dodges these sword attacks from the Perfect Susanoo and even mocks the so-called ultimate defense before he destroys it in one kick. Naruto didn't use Bull Release to boost his power, but it would have been pointless. Naruto himself knows the multiplier for Bull Release, and Jigen was so strong that the bump in power wouldn't have mattered, otherwise Naruto would have tried it. He didn't use the Raw style Rasen Shuriken like he did against Delta, and that also wouldn't have mattered. Jigen absorbed Sasuke's Amaterasu at point blank range.
Yeah, it doesn't affect
straight away we can see that most of their deadly jutsu aren't even worth trying, as it would only be a waste of their chakra, which is what Jigen says to them. Kurama knows Naruto's full capability, and he tells Naruto to stop pissing Jigen off because he would have gotten killed. Kurama had seen enough of Jigen's power to know that there was a different league of power.
So if we look back at chapter 37 or Boruto episode 204, Isshiki Otsutsuki had prepared 2 vessels at the time and was planning to use Kawaki as his primary backup that he would resurrect himself into, since he would have been able to withhold 100% of his power. This plan failed due to Kashin Koji forcing him to bring his true powers out in chapter 47 in a weakened Jigen vessel. But in chapter 37 we witness with complete ease Jigen absorbs every single jutsu they both throw at him due to the Karma Seal powers. In his Isshiki form, rather than absorbing, he shrinks any attack with his dojutsu, which makes things even faster and easier for him as it frees up his hands and only requires sight this time round. Naruto claims in chapter 37 that Jigen has incredible strength that is hurting him. At the same time, he was constantly manifesting rods in their bodies that was zapping chakra away from them. The anime showcased that Naruto used full power Sage of Six Paths clones that Jigen disposed of within seconds using his rods.
Very
easily. They couldn't even act before being destroyed. These are the same clones that would have destroyed 95% of the enemies we witnessed in the 4th Shinobi.
Probably more than that.
Jigen at 100% power was so fast that he duped Naruto and Sasuke into jumping in the the air but already appeared behind them before they even realized. Both of them using taijutsu at the same time against him was also proven useless, as he could block all their attacks and use his Ant-Man power that allows him to shrink to an atomic level. Once this power is active, whilst being small, he is able to absorb anything he wants, such as Naruto's Rasengan and his sensory abilities being useless as he won't be able to detect where he is. Only Sasuke was able to see him with the Sharingan. Sukuna Hikona is a dojutsu of Isshiki Otsutsuki. It allows him to instantaneously shrink himself or any non-living matter within his gaze and return it to its original size at will. Because the change in size happens too fast for the human eye to see, it is often mistaken for teleportation. Daikoko 10 can be used to store these objects within a dimension where time doesn't flow, allowing them to maintain their condition. Isshiki also uses it to dodge enemy attacks and free himself from restraints. So when Naruto and Sasuke try a similar plan they did against Momoshiki, it doesn't work because Isshiki can also manifest rods from his dimension whenever he likes, defending himself. In their first bout, after he stops playing around, he instantly destroys them both with only a few blows, and the rods impale them, and that's when the first fight ends with Naruto being sealed away. So with all of this, we all have an idea of how broken Isshiki must be if he was only using an imperfect vessel that cannot hold his true power to defeat Naruto and Sasuke.
Correct.
In chapter 50 onwards, in their second bout, Isshiki in his complete reincarnated form, although still an imperfect body, was still able to snatch away Boruto right in front of them and do whatever he wanted. He destroyed Sasuke multiple times and was literally going to kill him if it wasn't for Boruto trying to sacrifice his life. He dodged any jutsu and taijutsu that they were doing. In fact, unlike last time, Sasuke and Naruto didn't land a single blow on Isshiki Otsutsuki once he resurrected. The entire fight was them being beaten down to a pulp, and this only highlights how much stronger he got and how wide the gap in power became. Isshiki Otsutsuki was practically untouchable once he resurrected.
Now, I know you're probably gonna be angry or hurt right now with the fact that Isshiki made Naruto and Sasuke look like punching bags, and we don't blame you. Naruto and Sasuke started the manga off as 12-year-old Genin, and by the age of 17, they're using jutsu that created shockwaves, powerful enough that it nearly knocked Kakashi off his feet, despite Kakashi being an entire marathon away from them. By the way, this was after Hagaromo took back the chakra stored into the Sun and Moon seals in Naruto chapter 690. This is the reason why Naruto retains a small part of the Six Paths transformation, but not all of it, evident in the Naruto versus Sasuke fight. However, even still, in the 16 years since then, the narrative tells us that Naruto and Sasuke have gotten stronger, which by extension should make you respect Isshiki. In order to understand this, we have to look at Naruto's manga and in the light novel set after the manga ended. Being blunt, Naruto grew a lot after the Ninja War, which is insane because War Arc Naruto showed chakra control on a level that Kurama stated long since surpassed his parents. Naruto has only grown since then, and the foreshadowing has always been there. Naruto chapter 299, Yamato told Naruto that his true power wasn't in the Nine Tails. This was the Tenchi Bridge arc Naruto, who is vastly weaker than Hokage Naruto. Now more than ever, fans need to remember Naruto has power outside of Kurama. Several of the light novels have dialogue that states that Naruto continued to train. In the Kakashi Hiden novel, Lightning in the Frozen Sky, we see it clearly when Naruto showed the ability to use one-handed hand signs. Now, as a reminder, the Naruto manga makes it clear this is something that only the most elite of the most elite ninja can actually do. Not even Kakashi for most of the manga could do this, and Kakashi is feared across several nations. On top of that, Naruto's hand seal speed was so fast that in the light novel, Naruto's movements couldn't be tracked. Naruto's battle with Tsunade also shows more of his training. As a reminder, even the weakest of the Otsutsuki can conquer planets, and yet we see Naruto bullying an Otsutsuki with ease. Tsunade used the reincarnation explosion jutsu, which literally focuses all of the chakra of the Tensagon chakra mode into an energy blast. As you recall, Tsunade believed that the Tensagon was strong enough to destroy the earth, and we witnessed Naruto take a hit of the condensed power of a premature Tensagon chakra mode, so let's not downplay this attack. Despite having chakra near absolute zero, which is a reminder, absolute zero is death in the Naruto world, Naruto Naruto tanked the attack that left a crater larger than a hidden village, and the explosion caused chunks of the moon to break off afterwards. Despite being in Uzumaki and having increased durability and chakra levels, Naruto still needed 2 whole days to recover from this attack. In the Shikamaru Shinden novel Morning Clouds, it states that Naruto might have stopped training when he became the Hokage, but he still retains a small part of the 6 pass power given by Hagaromo. Post 6 pass chakra, Sasuke put all 9 beads on their genjutsu in an instant, and Kurama later stated that his prowess with the Rinnegan almost matched Hagaromo the Sage's 6 pass. Post Final Valley, Sasuke increased his visual powers in the years afterwards. In the Sasuke Sunrise novel, he used visual jutsu to read memories and send messages. In the time travel arc, he erased memories that remained erased 19 years later, evident when Naruto couldn't recall meeting Boruto. His physical power increased as well, even after entering.
To be fair, the time travel arc is certainly not canonical, because at that point, Kid Naruto is relative to Isshiki fatigued. But so far, great substantiation, great extrapolations, and great observations as well of both individuals to just further illustrate Jigen / Isshiki Otsutsuki's dominance. Let's continue. I'll give my thoughts after the video as well, of course.
Kaguya's dimension, which he says in Naruto Gaiden Chapter 8 requires a lot of chakra. He still fought Kinshiki to a standstill, a being that Sasuke stated was beyond Kaguya, which means that we've moved well beyond Jinchuriki Madara power levels, because Kaguya possessed more raw power than Jinchuriki Madara and 6 pass chakra mode Naruto. Sasuke with the 6 pass chakra could forcibly force Kaguya to swap against her will in Naruto Chapter 681, but when he fought against Naruto, he couldn't do so. He lost too much chakra after Hagaromo took back the seals. That's why he couldn't swap Naruto against his will to hit him with a Chidori, and had to settle for swapping places behind Naruto. However, the light novels repeatedly state that Naruto only has a small part of the power Hagaromo gave him, which is separate from the seal. The same is true with Sasuke's Rinnegan. That's why they trained afterwards to regain the power that they had lost. Momoshiki and Kinshiki were sold to us as being beyond Kaguya. Fused Momoshiki went beyond her, yet Naruto and Sasuke's power increased after volume 72, and we saw it when they took down Momoshiki with less than their full power. To normal ninja, Naruto and Sasuke are god tier. To Otsutsuki and Isshiki's tier, they're basically Konohamaru tier. He's unlike anything they've ever faced before. More raw power than Kaguya and better at taijutsu than Naruto, who at 50% power, best at fused Momoshiki and taijutsu. That's why this next part's so important. There's a reason why Naruto needed Baryon mode, despite the many years of training that he and Sasuke had up until the point Naruto became Hokage. Isshiki is just that strong. And this is where Naruto's new Baryon mode comes in. The only reason Kurama gave it to him as an option was because he realized there was no other way for them to win. Comparing Naruto's fight with Isshiki a few chapters before he activated this new mode, it's clear as day this isn't some ordinary power-up. In many ways, it resembles Might Guy's 8 Gates of Death. As before, Naruto wasn't able to land one good hit on Isshiki.
Right, it's a last resort.
That's
he's able the symbolism that Baryon mode represents. Last resort that results in death,
this
right?
Power-up even surprised the likes of Sasuke, as Naruto, even without using a broken dojutsu, surpassed Sasuke's ocular speed with the Sharingan. As Sasuke mentioned, his Sharingan was needed to keep up with Isshiki, so we can actually use this as scaling. When it comes to Naruto's strength, it's obvious that Isshiki is taking an enormous amount of damage than he was before. However, the overall damage of this new technique doesn't rely on the power-up in strength, but rather in the way that Baryon mode works itself. Naruto landed a total of only 5 to 6 big blows on him, which almost killed Isshiki. In Naruto's new form, the fusion is between Naruto and Kurama's chakra, and as they fuse into something new, a huge amount of energy is being released. You guys don't really have to understand this whole process. Even Kurama says the theory doesn't matter, and explains that their 2 chakras are serving as kernels to create a new type of energy, something that's different from chakra. This is because the Baryon mode reaction that's taking place isn't on the surface level like any simple jutsu. It's not transforming chakra into another form of energy like we see with other various techniques. Rather, it's literally eating the chakra up, and for a long time now, chakra has become intertwined with life energy. Every individual produces chakra to some degree, where even if Otsutsuki do not have the connection to produce chakra by molding their base energies, they still have those base energies, which Naruto can zap out of them using this Baryon mode. But the benefit of this is that it shaves off their opponent's chakra life force when they
Correct.
come into contact with
Yep.
them. Hence, in Isshiki's case, he thought everything was fine, but in actuality, he was suffering. Isshiki can tank more than any person, and even still, he kept up with Baryon mode and managed to choke out Naruto.
Me and Ian do believe Hagaromo, the Sage of Six Paths, would have stood a chance against Isshiki Otsutsuki.
Really?
This is because Hagaromo is the person that created the Nine-Tailed Beast and the concept of all jutsu in the first place. In his prime, he was originally the Ten-Tailed Jinchuriki, having
Right.
the Rinnegan and Sharingan to top it off. Hagaromo would be the perfect counter to Isshiki Otsutsuki, as he would be able to detect his smaller form just like Sasuke did and utilize the Ten Tails power the same way as Naruto can, but just be more potent, since, you know, every single beast was technically inside him and more. He is the creator of all jutsu, so he would know how to utilize anything that would be useful after adapting to Ishiki's strategies. Hagaromo in his prime would definitely be capable of beating Isshiki if they had a 1v1, just based upon the logic of what abilities they have at their disposal. Hagaromo would be able to use similar powers to Naruto's Baryon mode and probably kill Isshiki in a few punches. However, we have to understand that Isshiki being able to withstand attacks from Naruto's most powerful form is a feat in itself. It's a
course.
testament of his durability, and he may be the strongest person in the series that we have seen so far. Naruto's Baryon mode would kill any other character in an instant within one punch.
One shot,
But
yeah,
Isshiki
one
tanked
shot.
around 5 to 6. If anything, it's a testament to his power. Now, if we look back, Hagaromo, whilst fighting alongside his brother Hamura, he was able to fight peak Kaguya in a battle that reshaped the entire planet. For Hagaromo to fight a prolonged period of time without being killed must mean that he and Hamura had been, to some degree, as a collective, been matching her attacks enough of a level to not be wiped out. Because Kaguya has a bunch of instant killing jutsu and truth seeking orbs that can wipe out entire universes. That's already putting Hagaromo in a top tier class. Well, after that battle ended, Hagaromo became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, which means he got massively more powerful as a result. We witnessed Jigen take chakra from the Ten Tails, which was enough to defeat Naruto and Sasuke. So imagine actually having all of that inside you at all times.
Yeah, boy.
The point is that Madara Uchiha, when he became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, he had more of the full power, getting a large portion of the 8 tails and getting the entire half of the 9 tails Naruto possess. Madara, as strong as he was as Jinchuriki, was still several tiers below Kaguya
Correct.
Otsutsuki, which
Correct.
is directly stated by Naruto and Sasuke in the manga in chapter 679. The reason why this is important is that Hagaromo, without the 10 tails, was able to fight Kaguya, who was stronger than Jinchuriki Madara. When Hagaromo became the 10 tails Jinchuriki, it wasn't with only half of the 9 tails chakra, it was all of the tailed beasts. So obviously this puts him at a different level. We know from the Kakashi and Sasuke Retsuden novels that a terminally ill Hagaromo who couldn't safely mold chakra still possessed enough raw power to break a meteor in half. Naruto, while suffering with the same disease as Hagaromo, was suffering from heart attack like symptoms in the Naruto Retsuden novel when he tried to mold chakra to spar with Boruto. What gave Naruto a heart attack to do simple stuff like sparring, Hagaromo was able to break a meteor apart, which is a clear difference in strength, especially when you consider Hagaromo was much closer to death than Naruto was at the same point of time in their chakra illness. None of that changes the fact that Isshiki is by far the strongest Otsutsuki that we've actually seen, since technically speaking, we never saw what Ten Tails Jinchuriki Hagaromo could do. But
Yeah,
in
we never did.
conclusion, hopefully you
I'll
can
definitely get my
understand
thoughts on
now
that,
why
Hagaromo,
Isshiki
and
is
where he
truly
most
the
likely
strongest
scales after this.
Otsutsuki member we have seen thus far. Maybe the strongest character we have ever seen. Because even with an imperfect vessel Jigen, Isshiki Otsutsuki resurrecting in that body was still able to overpower Naruto and Sasuke with ease where they couldn't even land a single blow. Imagine if he had Kawaki, a perfect vessel that could hold 100% of his power. Even Baryon mode wouldn't have been a problem. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to
Alright.
hit the like
Great
button
video.
for our videos. We are doing more collabs in the future, so make sure to hit the notification
Again, folks, let me know if
bell,
you'd like
and
me to
we
react
see
to those
you
as
guys
well.
next time.
Alright, there you guys have it, folks. So I certainly want to get my thoughts on this one. Very good video, very good extrapolations, very good substantiations. And again, very good just further illustration of how dominant Isshiki Otsutsuki truly is. Now, I certainly want to discuss the Hagaromo premise that was created here by ABD. I actually disagree that Prime Hagaromo would beat Isshiki or would have a better chance because, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I am, he says during the war arc that his mother's more powerful than himself when he's talking to Naruto and Sasuke. I'm fairly certain he said that his mother is stronger than even himself. Now, you could refute that and say, well, maybe he's just paying homage to his mother. He never got to use his full abilities as Ten-tailed Jinchuriki, etc. That's fair. That is certainly fair. But again, if even in that form he's saying, my mother's stronger than even I, then that's most likely the most rational reality, right? It's the most rational conclusion to come to. So I would say him beating Isshiki is certainly questionable. Certainly questionable. And it's certainly debatable as to whether or not Prime Hagaromo could defeat Isshiki Otsutsuki as Ten-tailed Jinchuriki. Certainly debatable. Certainly. Now, to further illustrate just how powerful Isshiki is, Isshiki was absurdly dominant in all facets of shinobi combat. Because when Naruto and Sasuke fought Momo had the ability to absorb ninjutsu, right? So they had to strategize their battle method around that. They had to avoid that disadvantage. So what did they do? They engaged in hand-to-hand combat in taijutsu. That's how they got the upper hand against Momoshiki Otsutsuki, right? Even fused Momo. Momoshiki's taijutsu was not on that level. Right? He didn't have the ability to out-combat Naruto and Sasuke, even fatigued. They were fatigued and they still were able to triumph in a hand-to-hand exchange. Pretty evidently, right? When you watch the anime or the movie or read the manga, the discrepancy in power between Naruto and Sasuke and Momoshiki wasn't really large. Once Momoshiki, of course, was fused and used the giant stone golem that he was using, then Naruto and Sasuke had to go all out, right? They had to use the Bijou, the Susanoo attire Bijou avatar, right, to dispose of fused Momo for good. So at that point, they had to go all out because that was sort of what I consider Momo's last resort at victory, right? But here we have this guy, right, Isshiki, inside an imperfect vessel. That means when he first had his altercation with Naruto and Sasuke, he defeated them with only a fraction of his power. The vessel itself wasn't capable of executing the full amount of power that Isshiki possesses, right? That's why at the end of his first altercation, it cracked, right? Because the vessel isn't imperfect. That's why he wanted Kawaki to replace this current vessel, because Kawaki seemed like a more suitable candidate to handle his full power, right? He says that Kawaki's karma is flourishing at an astonishing pace, right? He's ready to make this shift in hosts, right? So Jigen was simply just a fraction of what Isshiki was, and still manhandled prime full power Naruto and Sasuke. He still did that. That's how dominant Isshiki was. And now, when he resurrected, it truly was like lambs to the slaughter. They weren't even able to contend, not even remotely. He dominated them. Sasuke couldn't even perceive his dojutsu. He couldn't even perceive it. Even with the Rene Sharingan and the godly dojutsu that he possesses, he was unable to perceive this individual. That's absolutely absurd. Right? Naruto and Kurama had to use their last resort ability to defeat Isshiki Otsutsuki. They had to use Baryon mode. The name itself is sort of a homage to nuclear fusion, right? Kurama explains this isn't a regular sort of ability. This is a fusion of us. Right? This is different from chakra. This is sort of like a chemical bond, right? Sort of like this chemical bond that creates this absurd amount of power and also gives you the ability to zap someone's chakra life force. Right? That's what this ability entailed of, right? Absurd amplification of power and the ability to siphon away an opponent's chakra life force. That's what was needed for Naruto to defeat Isshiki, right? He needed an ability of that caliber. He needed arguably the greatest amplification of power we've ever seen from any shinobi. Even greater than 8 Gates My Guy, to be honest. Even greater than that. Because prior to that, like I said, Naruto and Sasuke weren't even touching Isshiki. They didn't have a remote chance. you probably have a better chance of winning the lottery than Naruto and Sasuke beating Isshiki without Baryon mode. That's how absurdly low the statistical probability of their victory was. It was pretty much zero. As close to zero as you can get. So, Baryon mode was needed. And Isshiki still took a lot of those punches. Right, he still took a beating. That's how durable as well Isshiki Otsutsuki is. There's just this large discrepancy between him and everybody else in the narrative. Right? Momoshiki, Kaguya feared him. Kinshiki, Urashiki, they all pale in comparison to this individual. Naruto and Sasuke, the main protagonists for over a decade in the Naruto verse, paled in comparison to this individual. He was what I call their symbolic extinction event, because with him came the passing of the torch. Right? Kurama was deceased. Sasuke lost his eye. That was mostly because of Momo, but to be fair, it was after the altercation with Isshiki, and that was their extinction event as main protagonists. Honestly, that's the way I look at it. That's the symbolic representation of that moment. Right? They had their last, final, climactic event as shinobi. Right? They were the heroes one last time. Well, specifically Naruto with Baryon mode. They were the world's heroes one last time. But as a result of that, they are no longer the main characters of the story. This is Boruto's story now. Boruto Uzumaki's story. Kawaki's story. Sarado Uchiha's story. Code's story. Ida, Damon, etc. It's their story now. Right? And Isshiki served as the final boss, I think, of Naruto and Sasuke's career. I think that even if they are present physically in the narrative, I highly doubt that they'll ever be relevant again as far as combat. Truly. Now, unless Kishimoto goes the Toriyama route and says, you know what, Naruto and Sasuke is too loved, let's bring him back into relevance as far as combat, I don't see them ever being relevant again. I don't see that. I think they're done. Their time is over. They might be in the narrative here and there, but they're no longer the main characters. They're no longer the top dogs of the shinobi world. Boruto has a ton of potential. Not just the narrative, but Boruto Uzumaki himself. Tons of potential. So now we look to him to save the shinobi world. Right, with the plot twist, with Kawaki's and desires, with Ida's infatuation with Kawaki, with the indoctrination and brainwashing of the entire shinobi world via the omnipotence Shinjutsu executed by Ida. Boruto's the one to save the day, hopefully, right? He has been hardened by tough times, right? That was our big knock on Boruto Uzumaki. I talked about this in the last video, but his sort of easy journey, right? He never had hardships before the plot twist. He never had tough times test his character. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was born of era of peace where his father was the single most powerful shinobi on earth. He served as a deterrent to all antagonists out there hoping to take over. Right? He was born in an era of peace. His father was the man, the guy that the entire shinobi world looked up to as a god. Right? So he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he was definitely born in peaceful times and easy times. Like I said in the last video, a great quote I always hear is, hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men. And it's this cyclical nature of reality, right? So now we're here at this point where tough times have fallen on Boruto Uzumaki, and what has that created? A stronger man, a more capable shinobi. That's what it created, right? And that's why the narrative is being done pretty well, in my opinion. I don't have as many criticisms of Boruto any longer. Is there some criticisms that still exist? Of course. The antagonists aren't the best now, with Isshiki being deceased. Ida is a 15-year-old girl infatuated with a boy, and Damon's a toddler that can literally reflect your intentions just from his ability. Right? They're not characters I particularly care about, but the potential is there for a very, very good narrative. So, yeah, folks, just my thoughts on the video. Very well done. Isshiki Otsutsuki is one of the most powerful individuals ever in the Naruto slash Boruto verse. It's as simple as that. And Naruto and Sasuke's power just wasn't enough to beat him. Without some sacrifices, of course. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the video, folks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of Isshiki? Do you think he's the strongest ever? Do you think that the writers approached him the wrong way? Do you think Naruto and Sasuke should have won more decisively? Whatever your thoughts may be, leave them in the comment section below. And I'll catch you in the next video. This is Jigen signing out. Peace.